was in the mood for some Eddie Money, so I sat down and figured out this song, Walk on Water. It was one of his hits. Just a great song, a lot of 80s guitar stuff in it. A really great lead, some cool licks, and I'll even talk about how he plays it live. So I've written out my notes, though the link to it will be under the video, and you can download that if you like, and we'll get into the lesson here. Alright, so for the intro, we're going to go and strum a D to an A. We'll do that twice. The third time we go to a D, E, and G. So if you like, it sounds fine up here at the 5th fret. And I'm pretty sure he goes up because, again, this is 80s guitar. It's pretty saturated with some distortion. But you can hear him go from a D to the E, and he just holds it, and then up to a G with the 5th root. So we're at the 5th string at 10 and on the 4th and 3rd for a power chord. And then the verse, I really had to listen to this closely because you almost miss it. He's hitting the A twice into a B 3 times, so it sounds like this. And then he stops. So it's real subtle because a lot of people I watched do this live go. But he's really doing A, and then 3 Bs. So after the set of A's to B's, we're going to go back to A, B, and then we're going to slide from D to E twice. Alright, so we'll have this. Let's go from the very beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to repeat the A's and B's. Then we're going to do is stay on B and slide from B to D to E. And he kind of catches the D as he's sliding and hits it again, so you're sliding into E. And then you're going to hit E again back to D. So the second half, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so those are the 2 halves. The first verse is a little bit longer because there's a lick in the second verse, and under that lick is this rhythm. So during the verse, we'll do 3 sets of those. On the 4th, we'll just do the first half. Then we're going to do the first half of the second part, and then into a G. And that's where you'll hear this lick come in. Alright, so we do the first half of the second half, if that makes sense. Then to a G. So that is a slide on the 3rd string up to the 11th fret. Then we'll hit 9 and slide to 7. And it's a pretty significant lick, so you'll hear the guitar player do this live if he's the only guitar player. I've seen Eddie play with 2 guitar players, and one can hold the rhythm, but it's a significant enough lick. He'll go to the G and do this lick. So okay, so we've slid it to 11, 9 back to 7. Then we're going to catch on the 2nd string, 10, 8, 7, and then he just kind of holds 7 and slides up. And then you're into the chorus. For the chorus, the chords are D to B, and each one has 8 counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we do A for 2 counts, D for 2 counts, then a G for 4. All right, so let's stop there. Let's go A for 2 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4 to B and A with 4 counts each. The chorus only goes through one time the very first time. Then you're into that lick that I spoke about with the first 2 sections as a rhythm. Alright, so we've gone through the chorus. So for that lick, during the what we call after the first chorus going into the second verse, we're going to hit the 9th fret of the 3rd string, bend that up, and then we'll hit it another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and then 7 unbent to 9 on the 4th string. And then what you do is hit muted strings twice, so it's a down, up, and then catch the 7th fret of the 3rd and 2nd string. It's kind of hard to show without. We'll do that 3 times, okay? So let's go through the lick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so you're back into a shortened verse. He'll do 1 full set and add another set and a half. Energy. And we're into the chorus. Now the chorus goes through twice here. And then we're going to come into the intro again, where we just play D to A, D to A, and then D, E, G. And this leads us up to the bridge at this point. So the bridge is E and F, and then we're going to go to G. But you'll hear the keyboards and bass go to G, but the guitar does a little muted, kind of a typical 80s riff. I'll show you that at speed and then we'll slow it down. Let me take you from the very last section of the intro. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do that one more time. But so for the bridge, we've gone E to F. Then we're going to do this little lick. All right, so we're hitting 10 on the 5th string twice. Take it down to the 4th string at 10 twice, to 9 twice. Back to 10 on the 5th string twice. Now we'll go 10 and 9 again on the 4th string. So it's kind of a circle here, but the last 10 will only be once. So we have this. Then you're back into the chords, E, F, 8 count, and then we go up to G all the way to A. And then it's a 6 count and you're into the lead. Here's the lead at speed and then we'll slow it down. So this lick is extremely fast. What he starts out with, we're going to be on the 6th string at the 5th fret to 7. Then we'll go down to the 5, 7 on the 5th string, slide to 9. And the next, let's consider this the first half. and then 7 hammer onto 9 on the 4th string. So this is like the first half of the quick intro. So practice it. Because the next half is the same thing. We're just going to start at the 7th fret on the 5th string. So to see the two patterns together. When we hit that 11th fret on the 3rd string, we're going to bend it up and release it. Okay. Do that 2 more times. The 3rd time we're going to do kind of a bend release to 11. Then 9 slide to 7 on that 3rd string. Then catch your pinky on that 2nd string at let's see, 10, and then the 3rd string at 9. Then there's another quick lick, but again, this is kind of a typical blues thing that you can practice and get real good at because you will use it a lot. Alright, so what we're doing, we're going to stay here at this 7th position. We're going to hit 7 on the 1st string, hit 10 on the 2nd, pull off to 7. Then we'll go to 10 on the 3rd and pull off to 9 and 7, and then we'll hit 9 and pull off to 7 again. Alright, we have this so far. Then we just catch the 4th string, 9, 7, 9. Alright, so again, it's just working up to it. You know, that's takes me time to figure it out and work up to it. So we have that section down. Let's go up to the very last lick, which is again very tasty, and we'll finish up. So let's go through that lead part together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see how all that flows together. And then we're to this next section. What we're going to do, we're going to go up to the, what is this, 14th fret on the 3rd string. I think of this as outlining a D, D sus, D sus4, with another note added in. But anyhow, we're going to hit the 3rd string at 14 to the 2nd string at 15 at 17. Then we're going to hit back to that 3rd string at 14, 2nd string 15, 1st at 14. Then we're going to start on the 2nd string at 15 and go 14, 15 on the 1st. Then we start coming back. We'll start with 14 on the 1st to 17, 15 on the 2nd. So let me go through that slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. And at this point, we're going to take the 17th fret of the 1st string, strike that, and kind of roll your finger into the 2nd string at 17 with a bend. Then you're going to hit the bend 3 more times. And then bend it and release. So let's go from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the very last lick, what we're going to do is take the second string at 14. So the last lick will be hitting the second string at 15 down to the first string at 15 and pulling off to 14. Then back to 15 on the second. And then we'll pull off and hit 17 to 14 on the first string. And then the first lick again. And just hold it. So all together, the very last section. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you got some sustain going. So that's the whole song. The only other thing I can tell you is, as they go out, they're kind of playing the intro a D to A, D to A, and the D, E, G. They'll go into, after the lead, the chorus once, and they'll go into the intro chords as they go out of the song. I noticed live what he does is play the D to A up here as they're coming out of the song, and even sometimes in the verse. And what he'll do is add his pinky down on the 5th string at the, or I'm sorry, 5th fret, 1st and 2nd string. Anyhow, the other thing he does live, if you watch him, they are tuned down a whole step. So you would tune to E on your 6th string, and so, I'm sorry, D on your 6th string and down, because I think Eddie's voice has just gotten a little lower as time passed. But anyhow, the other thing he does live, there's a pretty good video. You see him doing, so he's just sliding up the power chord on the middle 2 strings, the 4th and 3rd string, and then he uses his middle finger for the A. And then that keeps him in position to use his middle finger and pinky on the D to E. And then I noticed he'll do that again, and then he uses his middle finger on the B. Anyhow, if you watch him do this live, that's the difference. You can do it any way you like.